Choke, no joke. Chicky choke, no joke. Choke, no joke. Chicky choke, no joke. You know what it is. And I left it on Vietnam. Now I'm staying in Ho Chi Minh City. The 1 year around Asia challenge still continues. And I'm never disappointed in the food here. I got this brown chicken cashew rice. This is something to write home for. I never had nothing like this in my life. And I'm so tempted to get another one. That's how good it is. Oh my God. No matter where I eat at in Asia, man, they don't disappoint. And if you know me, you know I love Asian food. So I'm in heaven right now. That's all you niggas that complain. Choke, why are you eating? Why are you talking? It's the Food Network, nigga. But I came on to talk to my son Jay-Z, my little doula. You know what I mean? Shout out to my grandson Ramir. Ramir, what up, grandson? So, Jay-Z, I came on to ask you a few questions. Because you know it's been years, decades that I talked about you when niggas was scared to talk about you. So there gotta be something, either you losing your celebrity, your power, your nut lickers, some, you know, since the Rock Nation brunch, which is now the Michael Rubin Fanatics brunch. Like, we don't know. It seems like a lot of dudes starting to fall off your nuts. So, I got some things I want to address. Jay-Z, you know that it's clear that Charlemagne's your bitch, right? Charlemagne's been your bitch since he was Leonard, Winfrey, Smith, Knowles, Carter, whatever all that last names he used to call himself for all the people he used to nut ride. But I know he was a Winfrey, Knowles, Carter, something nut liquor, right? So I don't know how many people could remember that far back in the Breakfast Club when he said that. So when he adopted your name, we been knew that was your son. And you've been utilizing that little daughter of yours since the early days of the Breakfast Club. You ruined me and Charlemagne's friendship. That's a whole nother story, but ain't no loss here. You know, I wasn't cool with Charlemagne accepting his boss sending him that text talking about he can't wait to suck his D-I-C-K when me and him was standing up in that studio in the Breakfast Club. There's no alleged to that. So, even, you know, shout out to Ray Daniels. But even Ray Daniels was one of your pom-pom cherries. You can revert back to my interview that I did with him. I almost walked out of there. He was not hugging you so much. But I guess since y'all fired him, you know, he's able to tell his truth now. Or at least speak the truth. That's why him and Charlamagne going at it. And I see you still using Charlamagne as your bitch. So, I want to say this. Jay-Z, I don't know if anybody else is paying attention, but I am. Jay-Z, what the hell was your wife doing sitting on that white man's lap talking to Michael Jackson? And I think you might have been talking to her at that time. I'm not sure. Because, I don't know, maybe she was, what, like 19, 20 at that time? It may be possible y'all was talking. I don't know. But that wasn't weird to you, Jay-Z? That she had to sit on that white man lap to get on the phone with Michael Jackson. Now, don't get me wrong. I know some niggas that would sit on that white man lap to talk to Michael Jackson. I know niggas like your little broad that'll sit on your lap to talk to Michael Jackson, but that wasn't weird to you, Jay-Z? Like, where was Matthew Knowles at that time? Was he still managing Beyonce? Did she sit on that white man lap to talk to Michael Jackson? That was kind of crazy. But to each his own. Beyonce, maybe you could explain that one. You might have groupied out for a second. Now when you look back at it, you like, F y'all, I talked to Michael Jackson. None of y'all ain't never talked to Michael Jackson. But if you guys sit on the white man lap to do that, to each his own, man. You know, you still a queen bee. Ain't nobody your co-following, they don't care. You see, that didn't even make the news. That ain't even a topic of discussion. But for a person like me, I had to say something, and I let it go for like a week because I was going to jump right on it. But I was like, you know, I like B, so I ain't want to say nothing, but it just keep bothering me. Talking about the casting couch. Pardon me, y'all. Spit out a little piece of rice. You know, you don't supposed to talk when your mouth is full. But in this case, you're going to have to make an exception. Because this rice in Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City, is so good. Look at that brown rice. Chicken and cashews with the vegetables. This is crack. So Beyonce, I'm sorry I didn't give you a pass on this one. I just had to talk about it. Now here's the other thing, Jay-Z. I know you mad at Ray Daniels because he exposed that you're looking for a partner to drop your album. Well, I've been said this before. You're not gonna drop your album unless you could put it out in a phone so you could say you went platinum. Because you're scared of catching a Rick Ross. You don't want people to be able to say you caught a brick. So, by any means, you know, you're going to try to find a way to make your first week sales look crazy by sponsoring. But, as you can see, you should have dropped a single Oh, I forgot you did. You and Beyonce, that song y'all put out, called a brick. I don't think I didn't take notice. I did take notice. So all y'all didn't hear it. Jay-Z and Beyonce tried to leak a song and make it look like it was an old song. Could have been an old song. But Jay thought he was going to catch a wave so he could go into his LA show off of that release. And nobody cared. Nobody cared. So now, Jay, I know you're even scared, more scared to drop your album because Ray Daniels done put you on blast. One of them little Rock Nation soldiers, and when they leaked your business, Ray Daniels thought he was giving you an alley-oop, a heads, giving people a heads up so they could get excited. And it backfired. You shouldn't have let sent Charlemagne. I don't know if you sent him or let him, climb up on your sack and start attacking Ray Daniels. Because all it did was made you look like that sucker nigga we all know you are. So now you're going to have to work a little bit harder, come up with a good plan to drop this album that we know you need to drop because your Live Nation deal is up next year and you need to re-up. This is why you're running around doing these shows. It's time to re-up. And you're hoping that Live Nation offers you another deal. Because if they don't, nigga, you done. Mr. Take a check from everybody. But you still got your the other broad, Michael Rubin. You took him from Meek Mill. Meek Mill played yourself. You see how they connected and kicked you out, Meek Mill? I hope they gave you shares in whatever they doing. For anything that Jay did with him, you supposed to get a cut. At least a finder's fee. But to each his own. I'm sure your lawyer told you that, Meek Mill. But Jay-Z, man. Going in September. After that is Rocktober. What you gonna do, baby? You know how we do Rocktober. We used to do in the Rockefeller days. Are your tickets selling in LA? Because you know they don't care for you out there. And the ones that do, they flew their ass to New York and went to Yankee Stadium, not realizing you was coming over there. And I doubt they're going to be buying tickets again. So, you have no buzz right now when it comes to these LA shows. I don't see no promo. You better get to it, Jigga. Street team days is over, baby. But there are some laps you could sit on. I wonder if you sat on any laps. Jigga, man, we waiting, baby. Get at us. One.